buttons everywhere. Buttons as far as the eye can see. Look at this. 27,000 buttons. That's right. So far, I have placed that many buttons because today I'm planning on building a wither skeleton farm. The farm itself should be fairly easy to build, but the main challenge is spawn proofing everywhere outside of the farm so we can get more spawns inside the farm. With that in mind, I've been busy and I've spawn proofed the nether fortress on the inside and also on the roof. The fortress itself was the easy bit because there is a lot of land outside of the fortress where mobs can spawn that needs to be taken care of. I've done a lot of it, but the problem is I've run out of stone. I've placed 27,000, but I can't craft anymore. I do have a plan to get some more, but first I thought we should build the farm and see how efficient it is before I get all the spawn proofing done. The only problem with doing all this spawn proofing first is that now this is the only place mobs can spawn around here, pretty much. So I need to get on with this pretty quick. This here, as you can see, I have been building this out, and I did this initially because I was going to do the farm that I usually do, which is Tango's like starter farm, and that requires just one big platform, and that's what I did do down here. But I've decided not to do that now, and I'm going to get attacked here, right? God, leave me alone. So I need to figure out where the crossroad is, and I think it is from this one here and then down that way. So the center, I'm guessing, would be about here, but I will figure it out, mark it out properly. So let me do that, because then once I know where this platform's going, I can actually get rid of the rest of it. I was thinking about spawn proofing it with buttons, but as we know, I've already ran out of that. So I'm probably going to dig it all out once I've figured out where the main platform's going. Okay, so I'm just starting by taking out some of this platform, so there's less places for these horrible mobs to spawn, and then we're building a circular platform in the middle, which is the design I'm going for, and this is from a video by Strom, and there will be a link to that video down in the description. It's a really good video. He has 3 different levels of wither skeleton farms, and what I'm doing here is building the first level, the basic one, but there's 2 really crazy ones in that video as well, so you should definitely go check that out. Okay, so I've got that mostly done now, and as you saw, I spent most of that time that's pretty much on fire, so yeah, this is hard. There's definitely a lot of spawning going on here, but that is a good thing. I know it wasn't too bright doing the spawn proofing first and then trying to build the platform, but you know, at least we know it's working. I do need to get some more buttons. I did want to wait till later on so I could do all the spawn proofing everywhere else, but I'm going to need some for on here. I did just find a couple of stacks, so that's what I did at the end of that time lapse, just put these down here. But I also, there's an area over here as well where I need to spawn proof, just these little bits in here. And I think I need to dig down this building here. So let's get out of here so nothing gets me, because this is actually overhanging where the farm's going to be. So I don't think it's that big a deal, but I think I'm going to get rid of it anyway. And you know what? I might as well just do it now, and then I can get these buttons back, can't I? Yeah, that's the plan. Let's do that. Right, so as I want to get on with this really quickly, I'm not going to go do any mining yet. So I've just asked for help in Discord, see if anyone's got any spare stone, and Amradon has come to my rescue, said I can take as much as I need. I found a stone in this double chest here, and I'm just going to take enough to spawn proof the rest of the fortress to make this a little bit easier. So let's do 9 stacks. Yeah, that should do it. Right, let's get back to it. Thank you, Amradon. Much appreciated. Another thing I need for this farm is turtle eggs as well, which may sound strange for a wither skeleton farm, but all will become clear once I get this thing built. So I've managed to find a couple of turtles, fed them some seagrass, and waited for them to do the thing. This one eventually laid the eggs, and we got a 4 out of this, so I asked nicely, and they said I could take these, no problem. I also need some glass as well for the drop chute, just to make it look a bit fancy, but I didn't have any sand, so I've been across and found a desert, mined out a load of sand, and then took that back home and got it all cooked up. So now with this, I think we've got everything we need, so let's go get on with it. Okay, so we are back in the wither skeleton farm, and I've just killed off everything that was on this platform, and there's an absolute load of them. So, stood in the middle here, nothing around me is 24 blocks away. So, in theory, I should be safe stood here and nothing will spawn. So I've taken that stone that we got from Amradon and crafted it into buttons, and we've finished off spawn proofing the rest of the nether fortress. So, literally, the only place anything can spawn in here is on here. Apart from the other bits of land that I need to do around there, in the fortress itself, the only place we can do it is here. Right, so now I need to build the killing area for where I'm going to kill all the mobs. And that, unfortunately, is below the lava, because this platform is at Y52, I think, and we need to be 32 blocks away because of how this farm works. We'll not be using a fancy wither rows design where only wither skeletons can spawn. In this farm, all of the mobs will be able to spawn. So I need a way of getting rid of them all. So what we're going to do is have a trap for the wither skeletons and the zombie piglins. They're going to fall down there and we'll kill them. But everything else, like the blazes and the skeletons and the magma cubes, they are all just going to wait up here. They might fall down there. It's possible that they might, but we can't rely on that. So we need to allow them to despawn. And that means I need to be at least 32 blocks away. So I'm going to build a killing area at Y20, which is 32 blocks away. So to do that, yeah, I've brought all my gravel. So I'm just going to drop this down here and hopefully it won't be that deep. And I'm going to have to do this in quite a wide area so we can dig it out and have place for some chests and stuff like that. So it's a bit of a task this, and it's not that interesting. So I'll get it done and then we'll have a look at the next bit. Okay, so a short amount of time later, all the gravel's been dropped and I've even taken the time to dig it out and set up the killing area. So you see this hay bale here. This is where they're going to land, and this is at Y20, so it's exactly 32 blocks below the platform. And I'm going to be stood here, actually, one block above this, so let's put a glass block there. There's going to be a chest here. We're going to have hoppers going into the chest, and then minecart hoppers up there just to speed things up. And I'm going to be stood here and able to hit them through that gap there. Nothing's going to see me, but that's where I'm going to do the killing. So now, we're pretty much there. All we really need to do is get the traps in, which is easier said than done. Okay, so this is the basic layout of the trap. And what we're going to have here is two things. Firstly, this will be a turtle egg on this slab, and what that is going to do is get all the zombie piglins to try and get through here and get to it. But what they're going to do is they're going to fall down there onto that hay bale. Something very similar for the wither skeletons is there's going to be a piglin stud where that torch is there. Not a zombie piglin, a normal piglin. So yeah, that's the challenge. I need to get a piglin into here to make this thing work. So I could actually put the turtle egg in now and that would get rid of the zombie piglins, but the problem is I don't really want that to happen, because when I go away from here and come back with a piglin, all the mobs are going to be spawning, apart from the wither skeletons, because the torches actually affect the wither skeleton spawning. So that's why I've put those down, because I don't want to bring a piglin over, because they'll start fighting with the wither skeletons and yeah, that'll just be a waste. The reason I don't want to get rid of the zombie piglins is if wither skeletons can't spawn and the zombie piglins going to get rid of, when I get back there's just going to be a ton of blazes, which there probably will be anyway. There's always loads of blazes. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm going to leave this like this. I'm going to leave the turtle egg and I'll get the rest of this built up and build some kind of platform to be able to drop this thing down. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I might put a hay bale on there as well just to protect it a little bit and drop it in from a bit of a height. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So yeah, I'll get this built up and we'll go try and find a piglin. Before I do that, I've actually just crafted up an anvil as well, because I do need a name tag, right? So we should probably do this. Right. Do that. And we'll have... what should we call this? Let's be real excited and call it bait. Right. I'll do. Right. I need to go find a piglin and get him in there. Let's do it. Okay, so here is the plan. I've built a bridge across to the Crimson Forest where the piglins spawn and started clearing out a bit of an area on the edge to increase the spawns. Not long after that though, I got lucky and spotted one with a sword and got his attention. I then ran away like a madman, very, very scared, and after a very close call, I managed to get him where I wanted him. I named him so he won't despawn, as I'm definitely not in a rush to do that again. Then removed all of the temporary blocks I used to get him here. I placed the egg to attract the zombie piglins, which worked instantly, and then I knocked out all the torches so the wither skeletons will start spawning again. Then I went down to the killing area to see it was working, and it definitely is. So that is very good news. And then it was just on to building the collection system, so put down 3 double chests, 3 hoppers going into those. And then to get the hopper minecarts in the correct position, we need a fence on this side, 2 powered rails, and then simply place the hopper minecarts one at a time, powering the rails in between so they're over 2 of the hoppers. And that's it, all done. After getting that done, a few mobs did come through, but as expected, the rates aren't great yet. So I came back home to make a start on getting some more stone to turn into buttons so I could finish the spawn proofing. As I was about to get started digging out this hole, there was a ton of mobs, so I flew up in the air to make them despawn, but I wasn't concentrating and I plunged to my death. This happens a lot more than I'd like to admit, but I scrambled around trying to find my stuff and I couldn't find my elytra anywhere. After a little bit, I logged out and checked the replay recording and it turns out it was a visual glitch. My elytra was next to me the whole time, but it just didn't show on my screen when I was looking. I did have a spare elytra though, and a few books that I got from Ramadan, so I put those on, and that's where I should have left it, because this is where it went very, very wrong. I decided to go to the end to get a spare elytra or two, but the end gateway didn't seem to work with the first ender pearl. So I threw another one through, and then appeared over the void. And I couldn't fly up fast enough, so that was it. I ended up back at my base with all of my gear gone. Absolutely all of it. So now I have no elytra and no gear at all. I did have a couple of good spare picks, but that was it. I decided to make a start on doing some villager trading. But then after remembering how stubborn villagers are to give you a decent trade, I realised it was going to take a very long time to get anywhere near where I was. So it was back across to Amradon's base to trade for some emeralds and books. He also has some armourers, so I bought myself a full set of diamond armour. And yes, I know I owe Amradon a lot for coming to my rescue a few times already. At this point, I decided to get back to the end and bridge across to try and find an end-city ship, but I wanted to at least get myself a decent bow. I didn't have enough levels to do any enchanting, so I traded more paper with my villagers to get the last few levels, enchanted a decent bow, and added an infinity book to it. I headed back to the end with my new diamond armour and new bow, nearly got knocked off the staircase by an enderman, and carefully threw my ender pearl through the gateway again. Turns out, I didn't do anything wrong last time. The gateway just teleported me to the middle of the void. I definitely didn't rage quit. Okay, so it's the next day for me now, and as you can see, I have actually got some gear. Still no elytra or netherite, but it's all diamond and all of the top enchantments. And you may be thinking, how have I done this? And the answer to that is, I've been busy with these villagers. I've quickly set up this trade selection area, and I know this is horrible, jungle planks and stripped oak logs against the dark oak and the spruce, and I know it's random, and it's basically just what I had on me. I threw it together because I wanted to get the villagers sorted, so we will come back at some point and make this look pretty, but for now it does work. And I didn't record much of it, but I did record moving the last villager through, so let's just have a quick look at that. So we'll keep placing the workstation down until we find the trade we want, and this is the one I want from this guy. It's looting 3. So we do the trade to lock it in, and then we can press this button and this will send him down into the trading hall. If we just come through this door, I've set up a temporary way of getting down there. I won't use this all the time, but it's just while I've been doing this. And if we just wait a moment, we can see him coming around this corner along this rail that I've been manually changing each time a villager has come in, and then he'll go into his slot there. We put the workstation down, trap him in with some trapdoors, and that's it. Okay, so considering I wasn't in the best of moods whilst doing this, it actually went quite well. So usually it can take quite a long time to get the trades you want, but I was quite lucky with a lot of this. So this is the order that we went in, as this is the way the rail comes. It falls down here onto there, and then it goes round this way. So let's have a look in order at what we got. So first, sweeping edge 3, which is very handy, because this is definitely something I'm going to need for my Wither Skeleton farm. I think that was one of the things that annoyed me the most, actually, losing that sword. My netherite sword that had sweeping edge 3 and smite 5 and looting 3 on it as well. Definitely the thing I needed for a Wither Skeleton farm, but yeah. So anyway, we're on the way to getting that back now, because we have sweeping edge 3. We then got Silk Touch. Then this one was really great, because the 2 enchantments you need for the boots, apart from the ones that you have on everything, obviously, like Unbreaking and Mending and Protection, you need Depth Strider 3 and Feather Falling 4. And this guy sells them both, which I'm very happy about. And then these are the ones that I really needed to get. So this is how I'm getting my tools. So I've got an axe and pickaxe there. This one sells the armor. It's not incredibly cheap, and I'm not doing the zombie discounts, but you know what? I can live with this, especially with the amount of paper I've got to trade with all the librarians. We then have this guy for an axe and a sword, and you've got to have a Fletcher for trading the sticks, but I do have a cave spider spawner, so I have an absolute ton of string, so I'm going to bring some of that up, make some emeralds out of that. We then, obviously, we need to get a mending villager, and 29 is not great, but his second trade was then mending for, well, 22 originally, but now it's 19, so that's pretty good. We also have protection and another depth strider one there as well. I then got another toolsmith because this one doesn't sell shovels, so I thought I'd try my luck again, see if I can get a shovel, but it's the same one, just a diamond and an axe. So I may, sorry, don't listen to this, but I may get rid of this guy and try and get another one with a shovel. But you know what, 1 diamond for a shovel, it's not too bad, is it? And then extra stuff for the helmet, we've got respiration 3 and smite 3, not great, but if everyone wants a smite sword, can maybe use that. And then Aqua Affinity again for the helmet. Unbreaking 3, this one definitely essential, and that's pretty good price as well. And then for the armor again, Protection 4, very nice. And then Looting 3. So we're pretty much there for the sword. We don't have sharpness or efficiency, but I do have these 2 over here. So we've got a couple of extra villagers that don't fit in the trading hall, but these ones I'm not going to use that much. We do have Infinity for a boat, and then we also have Sharpness 5, which is great. So 52, I know it's really expensive, but shouldn't need to be buying too many of those. So, after I did some trading, I got all these books. Obviously, XP was going to be an issue, so I needed to go do some enchanting on combining of the books. So that meant another trip to the end. Right, so I wasn't too happy about going back through here, based on my recent experiences, but it's definitely the best XP source we've got on this server. And this is actually the first time I've been here without flying, so I had to find the ladder, made my way down, across this one wide bridge of leaves, swiped away at the enderman to get some XP, and I brought across all my armour and all the tools that I've just bought, and a shulker box full of books as well. So I've taken all the rubbish enchantments I had on there, and just done a bit of enchanting, getting some levels when I needed them, and putting the books on. And once I was all finished, there was no way I was going back across and risking losing all this stuff. So I put literally everything in my ender chest and got back home. Alright, so just have a quick look at what I've got. I think I've actually ended up better than what I had before. Apart from the netherite and the elytra, I think the enchantments are all pretty good. So I've got all the usual suspects. Fire protection 3 isn't great, but a little bit of fire protection, especially as I'm working in the nether, should come in handy. And then we've got everything we need on here. I need to get depth strider for this. Actually, we can do that now. So let's grab this. Where are you? Depth strider. We'll pull that on there, and then that'll be everything on the boots. We then have, right, the sword actually went really well, because I got 2 swords. I got sharpness 5, and this has got everything on it that I need. I don't like fire aspect on a sword, so this for me is the perfect sword. And then I also got one with smite 5, knockback 2, unbreaking as well. I can actually put looting and sweeping edge and mending, because I've got all the books for those onto here. And then this is probably the one that I'll use with the skeleton farm, and then this one just for general. And then the bow, I actually managed to get a really good one. I just enchanted quite a few bows over and over again, and I eventually ended up with a few that I could combine into this one. But I've also got some decent backup ones here as well. I mean, that one's pretty good. And then the shovel is only efficiency 4. I need to get mending on there as well. And then the axe, yeah, that's perfect. Maybe I could put smite on there as well. But other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. So now I think we're in the position where we can actually start doing this digging and get some stone. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I've got a little bit of digging done, and this is definitely going to be very helpful when I get around to building this thing, but that's not what we're doing today. The main thing is, the stone supplies are now looking much healthier. So I've got 3 double chests there, a little bit in there, and 2 full shulker boxes. So I'm going to take these shulker boxes, because these are the last 2 spares that I have, and I'm going to get back into the nether and convert these into buttons and do a bit more spawn proofing. So it's going to be a lot more difficult without an elytra, but unfortunately, it's not possible to get one right now, so I'm just going to do it the hard way. Hopefully, I'll have some ender pearls somewhere, so we'll grab those and go give it a go. Okay, so we got on with placing a few thousand more buttons, and not having an elytra didn't really hold me back that much. I sometimes forget how being able to fly in Minecraft, it's not completely necessary. It is definitely possible to do most things without the elytra. Don't get me wrong, as soon as I can, I'll be getting some more, but I have enjoyed doing this a bit more old school. After a while, I decided to test the farm to see if the spawn proofing had done any good, and yes, it has definitely made a difference. I went AFK for a bit and came back every now and then to swipe at the mobs. I got an absolute ton of skulls, but we will have a look at that in a minute. I did run out of stone again, but rather than going back for more, I used the smooth stone I had on me and slabbed the small islands near the lava. Then, when I came up to do one of the last sections, I noticed the piglin had been killed. I'm guessing a blaze shot at me and hit the piglin, so I need to get another one, which is definitely not ideal. So first, I built a glass box around the entrance of the farm, so when I go in and out, the mobs won't be able to see me. Then I had to clear out the mobs so I could light the platform up. As I was building the bridge back so I could get the piglin in, I fell down into the lava. But as I'm a professional, I had a fire resistance potion on me, so no problem. Then after that, it was back to the Crimson Forest to find a piglin, and I thought it was a really bright idea to rescue this one from the edge of this island. I got him up and across, but as it happens, a piglin had spawned in the tunnel. So as I was bringing this one across, they both ganged up on me, and I had to kill them both. But never mind, I found another one and got him across, straight into the trap, and only 2 blazes had spawned. So very lucky there. I removed the bridge, knocked out the torches, and waited for the skeletons to spawn. This thing is definitely working now. Okay, so now I've got that spawn proofing done, these things are filling up very, very quickly. So as you'll see, I already have 6 with the skeleton skulls on me. And let's see if we can get any more from this batch that are here. Now, I'm not using my smite sword yet, so I definitely need to get that one sorted. But this one is doing just fine. And there weren't any there. Did any go in the chest? Another 2 in the chest, look at that. 8. So yeah, it's going alright, but This isn't it. Let's have a look in here. Right. So this is what I got whilst I was building the farm. Before I even got this thing built, I already got 3 from doing that. So I've got 11 there. That's not bad. And then everything else I've got from my few short AFK sessions, I put into my ender chest. So let's just kill these. See how quickly these are coming in now. I can't even explain something briefly without getting more with the skeletons. No more. Right, okay. What we're going here. Yeah, we've got 23 and another 2 stacks. Look at that. 2.5 stacks of wither skeleton skulls. That is absolutely mad. Considering how easy this farm was to build, that's crazy. I know I spent a lot of time doing spawn proofing, which is definitely worth it, but that's still mad. That is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I can kill quite a few withers now, but you know what? I think I might have to do a little bit of trading with this, because I have issues. So if any ramblers want to make me an offer for the stuff that I obviously need, name your price. The other drops we're getting that I was really surprised about was the amount of gold. I mean, look at this, 57 blocks of gold. That is crazy. And then also I've added these 2 chests in down here because I just couldn't cope with the amount of bones and coal I was getting. So I've got this many coal blocks, which is absolutely nuts. And then this many bone blocks. I've been turning the bones into bone meal and into bone blocks. And yeah, got an absolute ton. I have been throwing away all the swords because, you know, they just clog up these chests. So I'm definitely going to need to upgrade the storage at some point. I should probably stop killing these now because I'm running out of space in my ender chest for wither skeleton skulls. It's so hard being me. Oh, there we go. Got another 2. This farm's mad. I love it. Okay, so I've spent a little bit more time attacking these things, which they're just coming down like crazy. I can hardly clear them out, but I wanted to round it up. So I now have 3 stacks of wither skeleton skulls, and another 3 because I went a little bit over. So I can now fight 65 withers. I'm probably not going to, definitely not all at once, but, you know, I can do it if I want to. And I also got a full stack of gold blocks as well, so that's very good. But you know what? I think I need to leave this. I did want to fight a wither today, but because of all the bad luck I've had with everything else, you know, like losing everything twice and losing the piglin once, my luck's not with me in this episode, I don't think. So I am actually going to leave it there. But we do have a few things to get done, which I'll probably make a start on between episodes and definitely get done next time. But I want to make this area a bit nicer. Will you please be quiet? And definitely build a safer way of getting down here at the minute as well, because we have just this ladder coming up to this platform that we've got up here, and then this goes into the next tower, and that comes out in that glass box. But even though that glass box will hide me when I'm just next to the ladder, when I go over to the other side of the fortress on the way out, there's still a very slight chance that the blazes could see me. So I think what I want to do is build another way of getting in here, either at this level going straight that way and then back to my portal, or I could do one actually right down at that level and it'd be under the lava. But that's quite a big job, so I'll figure that out another time. And I am actually going to leave it there because this episode has taken me far too long, obviously, with all the setbacks. But if you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.